Welcome to the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. Great day, everyone. It is time for the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. We have a great discussion for you today, and I truly believe it's going to cause you to think about it for a moment. You know how when you get that voila moment, you kind of turn your head? Yes, I truly believe the discussion today is going to do that to you. But first, let me give you the title. It is called The Knowledge of Something is Applied. I just came up with the title. I knew exactly what the subject, the details, and the discussion was going to be, but didn't know the title. But I think that the title today is perfect for what I'm going to talk about. Again, the subject is the knowledge of something is applied. This week, I was on my treadmill early in the morning, and I was listening to some music. And usually when I'm listening to music, it kind of get me into this zone of meditation as I work out. And it is possible to work out and still be in a meditative mode, and that's where I was. And I noticed something. I started to think about knowledge itself and how powerful it is. You know, for a long time, I have heard many people say it's not about the knowledge, it's about the applied knowledge. And I am one who used to say the same thing. It's about the applied knowledge. You can have knowledge all day long, but it's about how you apply that knowledge. And I want to expound on that because I chuckled this week when I just thought about that, the knowledge of something. And I chuckled and I laughed because you know how sometimes you kind of think about a subject and you've been doing it for a long time, but then you graduate from that subject and you expound on it. Well, that's how it was when I was thinking about the knowledge and applied knowledge. And again, our title is called The Knowledge of Something is Applied. And I sat there for a moment and I said, well, what happens if the knowledge is wrong and your conviction is operating in the knowledge of error, and then you apply it? That's why I chuckled, because, and I thought, how can you decipher the error of knowledge and the knowledge of something, the right knowledge of something? And I said, how can you decipher the two? Because either way, when you apply the knowledge of something, therefore it is powerful. So you can apply the wrong knowledge and it could have a powerful effect in error. And also you can apply the right knowledge. It can have an effect in rightness or productivity or something that will lead to a lifespan that will generate greatness. It will generate greatness where it applied to everyone and they're prospering off of the right knowledge. Well, it's the same effect when you apply the wrong knowledge, and it can have a negative effect to it. So I truly believe that the saying that I used to say all the time, and many other people, that, you have to get the knowledge of something and you have to apply the knowledge for it to be powerful. And, but I want to talk about what happens with correcting that statement, because it has to be a little bit more than that. And how can you make sure that you're walking in the right kind of knowledge so that it'll be powerful in a right kind of way? And but when you look at something, when you say the knowledge of something is applied, and what is the effect of it? How powerful is an effect? Is it a powerful way to affect something negative? Because when you apply the wrong kind of knowledge and you have a conviction about it, over time, it will erupt. and it will have an eruption of a negative extent. We're seeing that quite often lately in our society as the news presented. Now, I don't know any factual what goes behind the news publication because I'm not there and I'm not here to judge that. But, and sometimes, like I stated, if I read that information and it's the wrong information and I apply that information or what I read in publication and it's wrong, and here I come on my platform here at the Sonya Buchanan Show, and I will give you that information, that knowledge, and apply, and it would be wrong because I'm perceiving something from somebody else's writing and I have not thoroughly investigated how true this is. Or really look at the wording and how something is presented. And that will indicate it can be, I don't want to make that judgment, but it can be the wrong kind of applied knowledge because I'm reading somebody else's wording or interpretation of something. And so how do you apply the knowledge of something? And therefore, it's powerful in a positive way. It's originality. It's original ideas. It comes from original ideas, and it is applied for original ideas to make an impact or a change for the better. And that's any subject, that's any career, that's any gifting, that's any talent, that's anything that you want a positive impact. And that would be applied knowledge that would impact the world, and it erupt in a great way. I was thinking about something the other day, and I was thinking about how we have received the Constitution, the information that we are living today. And I thought about something. I can only speak of the United States. I'm not really sure about the other countries because there's so many different continents. And I thought about, we are actually right now living off of dead people ideas of an applied knowledge. And I thought about that, and I thought about, we are living right now off of theology and off of information that is prolonging for people who have died already. And I said, well, maybe it was powerful and the right kind of knowledge during the time that they have written it and trademarked it and created books and copyrighted it and everything. Maybe it was right. But as time goes on, we go through different decades, things are increased. So do we take the old information and apply it to something that's powerful? Now, there are some people, theology right now that we're living, that have passed on and left us with great inventions. And they are having a powerful impact into the world. That would be applied knowledge that is powerful in a positive way. So what happens when there is knowledge that it was applied and it was incorrect? This is where the confusion comes from, where people want to know their lineage, where they're from, because of things that have erupted in a negative way. We talk about wars and different attacks against countries, and applied knowledge would be opinions about something, and it goes down to having an eruption in a negative way. We're having that right now where different people is having an eruption of not being accepted. We want to take the transgender, and I know I'm not going to get political here, but I want to just touch bases on something about the transgender humanity. And honestly, I have not personally took the time out to even understand. But this one particular morning, I said, if we will look at things on a humanity type of way, when we see things that are different, when we talk about the transgender society, they're still humans, and they still have talents, and they still have intellect, and they still have a positive impact into the world. That will be an applied knowledge that will be correct, and it will be powerful. If we look at the different scenarios in different cultures, as they are humans. They have blood. They could be a blood transfusion that will impact someone's life, and it will give them life. That will be applied knowledge that is correct and powerful. What applied knowledge that is incorrect is not looking at them as not as human, as the same as you and I. That would be a negative effect, and it will have a negative, powerful impact against the world, because we're taking another human being because this is their culture, and we don't understand their culture. We don't understand what is happening here. We have a tendency to have an applied knowledge, which is our opinion, and it have a negative, powerful impact in the world, but it's against another type of culture. But I don't want to go too much into that. I just want to really spend more time on the subject at hand, which is the knowledge of something is applied, therefore is powerful. And let's take the 10 Commandments, for instance. And I know a lot of people still live on the 10 Commandments. It says, you shall not murder, you shall not covet, you shall not. All of those 10 Commandments, actually, there are more than 10 Commandments, by the way. And of course, we should not do those things. But the correct applied knowledge for the 10 Commandments, or the commandments, and the 10 Commandments have been on government properties for a long length of time, and they have executed those 10 Commandment statutes to remove them. And the applied knowledge that will be correct is the new covenant, walk in love, because the applied knowledge that is correct is walk in love. It kind of cancels out all of that, because if you're walking in love, therefore you're not going to be murdering anybody. You're not going to be dehumanizing people. You're not going to be stealing. You're not going to be doing all these things. So the applied knowledge to the 10 Commandments will be love. So that will be the correct knowledge. And therefore it has a powerful impact into the world itself as a whole, a global world. Okay. So, and I sat there and I laughed about how, if you actually break it down to the point of the knowledge of something is applied. And we say that often, but not really dissecting what knowledge are we applying, and is it correct? Because at a long term, it will have a positive impact. And then also the error, it will have a negative impact. And you know that when something is applied knowledge and it has a negative impact, over time, it's going to erupt. And sometimes at the time that we are applying this knowledge, we may not even know at certainty, is this going to have a negative or a powerful impact against a certain people or a type of culture, or is it going to have a negative impact against the world? Because truly, I believe that if we're talking about the world, and I know that there are different countries and there's different property lines and all of this stuff, but as a whole, we're still a globe of earth and people. And we still are connected in many different ways. And this is one of the things I think that the internet has really connected us, and also has divided us. And we have to think about, how has it divided us? It's because of the applied, the knowledge of something has been applied and is erupting division. And so I really want you guys to really think about that the knowledge that you're walking around and giving, at the time you're thinking it's going to be positive and impact, but really before you give knowledge and before you apply that knowledge, kind of look at it on four corners. I say the four corners of the north, south, east, and west, or think about the consequences with the knowledge that you're applying. And we have to really think about this, because it's going to impact our future. If we don't sit down right at this moment and think about the knowledge that we are applying to be powerful in something, how is it going to affect you 10 to 20 to 30 years down the road? And I know some of you, it's very hard to even think that far, but businesses think that far. They think 5, 10, 20 years. And all cultural, when we talk about the fashion industry, when we talk about the music industry, when we talk about digital, when we talk about technology, they're already thinking about 10 years from now. They're already thinking about in 2050. But individually, we're not thinking about that when we talk about 5 to 10 years with your individual family. How is this going? What am I doing today? Is it applied knowledge? Well, I mean, because you can actually break this down to your immediate family. That what you're doing today, how is the knowledge that I'm applying, is it going to have a negative effect on my family, or what they're seeing I'm doing? How is it going to impact their world? Because how the applied knowledge that you are impacting the people that is closer to you is going to be powerful in a positive way, or either it's going to be a powerful effect in a negative way. And so we have to really think about it, because right now there's so many different covers that's just being lifted up, and we're finding out the applied knowledge that took place now is called corruption. And the playing field is leveled. It has nothing to do with title. It has something to do with the knowledge of something is applied at a particular time. Either it was negative or if it was positive. And the negative right now that was applied way before is having an occurrence of eruption. And that is what we're seeing today. A lot of eruption because previous knowledge of something that was applied and was not thought through. Some of the things, some of the theology, some of the writings, and some of the literature that we have lived years in operating in, we have to go back and look, how is this going to impact us? Because honestly, when we think about some of the things that impacted us from previous years in the 1900s, 1939, when we talk about taxes, the tax laws, and the housing laws, and how it impacting a world of today, we have to go back and look at those. Just don't lift it up, because taxes was not generated for Black America. It was later on given to the Black community, the Black culture, to pay taxes. We talk about the housing market. We talk about the housing culture. The housing was set up far as the laws for white culture, and it was institutional into FHA loans for the Black culture to be involved in purchasing homes. We have to go back and look at how was the laws established. These are some of the things that the knowledge of something is applied. And when we talk about housing marketing, we talk about housing the market. We're talking about how was that applied back in the day, because it could be out of date. And from what I'm understanding in the news, a lot of people are still dealing with, they say they still dealing with it, because like I stated, I don't know the consequences. I don't know what happened, during a time when a person is trying to apply for a home, but they are still coming against a different type of something that has been applied, an idea of something that is in a negative way, and then having an eruption that's keeping people from understanding how to purchase a home and how to be set up for a home. However it is, it's still an interruption because it's being played out in publication before us, and maybe there's a lack of knowledge on both ends. It still will be applied knowledge of something that is negative. And we want to turn those negative applied knowledge into a positive, so they're having a positive effect, a positive eruption that it would impact the individual's life. But pretty much I want to just talk about that. Again, our title today is The Knowledge of Something is Applied. Okay, and therefore it's powerful. So it could be either way, and I know I hear a lot of people in their motivational speech, you just can't have knowledge. It has to be applied knowledge for it to be effective. Yeah, let's go a little bit deeper than that. It has to be applied knowledge. Therefore, the right kind of applied knowledge, and it will have a positive effect and a powerful effect. And like I stated in earlier, that how would you know the difference? It's called originality. Original ideas most often are knowledge of something is applied and it has a positive, powerful eruption that would impact not just yourself, but it impact everyone that's around you, and it impact everything that you do. It has a positive effect. That's how you know that it will have the knowledge that you have applied will be powerful. Okay. So if you're wondering, how would I know which knowledge? Ask yourself, is this going to impact on a positive standpoint on a long term? Because that is how. And where did you get the idea from? Did it come from someone else's ideas, or did it come from the originality from you? Most often when it comes from an original idea from you, it is the knowledge of something is applied, and therefore it is powerful and impactful and a life-giving source, or a life-giving productivity, or a life-giving transformation for a long term. But that's what I want to talk to you all about today. So I hope it really calls you to think about what kind of knowledge have I been given, and what kind of knowledge am I applying? And isn't it having a powerful impact? Or is it time for me to upgrade the knowledge of something that I am applying so it'll have a long-term positive effect around me, my family, or wherever that you are using your knowledge to apply it, okay? Listen, you guys, this is the end of our show today, and I want to say thank you so much for listening. Thank you for stopping by. This is audio, and I kind of been going back and forth, audio and video, but I just want you to be powerful. I want you to think about long term what you are taking heed as in knowledge, because you want it to impact your life positive, and you want it to be legendary. People use that word all the time, legendary, but you want it to be impactful, where it's just not impacting just you, but in impacting everything that you do and everything that you touch. So this is our show for today, for this week, and I want you all have a great day and a great week. And also, listen, you guys, we have created some new t-shirts, by the way, and they're hope t-shirts. Okay. It is hope. And I want you to know that without hope, life is not good. You don't want to ever lose your hope. Okay. And what I mean about that is, what is the ultimate part of life itself? It is hope. Hope generates a belief system that activates an action of regeneration to thrive in life. Okay? So I want you to stop by and take a look at some of the t-shirts that we have. They have many colors, and I'm going to put the link in this podcast so you can go and take a look at some of the t-shirts. And again, as you know, that our apparel goes in to help the community as much as we can. So if you could and would, please purchase a Hope t-shirt and be reminded to always generate the belief system that activate an action of regeneration to thrive. Listen, you guys, that's the end of our show today, and I want to thank you. Until next time, this is your girl, Sonia Buchanan, with the Sonia Buchanan Show, where we inspire one life, one smile at a time. You guys, make it a good week, and remember, the knowledge of something is applied, therefore it's powerful. See you guys. Bye.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you, I was having a moment and I decided to surf the net. And that's when I came across this website called Comforting Promises, which is a great website, by the way. And get this. On the website was a featured book called The Journey by Sonia Buchanan that was recently published. So I immediately downloaded the ebook on Kindle because it talked about, having faith for your life purpose. And let me tell you, the book is super great. I was so motivated to get back into the game, pursuing my goals. And you gotta get the book because it's worth the read.
Thank you for joining our podcast today. The podcast was produced and edited by Sonia Buchanan. For more information about the host, you can go to soniabuchanan.com. For information about Comforting Promises broadcast community, you can go to comfortingpromises.com. Thank you for listening to our broadcast, The Sonia Buchanan Show, where we focus on one life, one smile at a time. Until next time, bye you guys.